Next, let's go over the options of the calendar toolbar. The Columns menu allows you to edit columns and mark columns for rollover. With the Edit Columns option, you can add and delete columns. You can also rearrange your columns. To rearrange columns, click a column title and click the blue up and down arrows to shift its position. Press Save when you're finished. To add new columns, press the green plus sign. Type in the name of your new column and press OK. To delete columns, highlight the column you want to delete and press the green minus sign, then press OK. Note, you cannot delete the default columns listed in black, but you can delete the custom columns listed in blue. Press Save when you're done. Some columns are able to be rolled over to the next year. Click the Mark Columns for Rollover option to open this dialog. Here, Calendar will show you all the columns that are available for rollover. This includes all user-defined columns, Preparer, Reviewer, Assignment 1 through 3, and Notes. By default, they will all automatically roll over. You can select all, unselect all, or pick and choose which columns to roll over. When you're finished, click Save. The Print menu, like the square buttons in the middle of the calendar interface, allows you to print the calendar to a printer or to a PDF file. There's also an option to shrink to fit. The User Entries menu allows you to add your own custom user entries into the calendar, such as non-enterprise users and non-enterprise companies. You can also manage all your user entries in this menu. Add a user entry opens a dialog box. First, select which companies this new entry will apply to in the scrolling box. Enter the due date, the internal due date, the state, what type of tax it is, and a description. You can add or remove tax types here by clicking the green plus or minus sign respectively. Once added, it will become an option in the drop-down box. You will also need to specify the postmark option. If the postmarked date is accepted, click Yes. If not, click No. Then you can choose whether the entry will automatically roll over and if it will automatically be assigned to each new company created. To save this new user entry, click Add. In the interface, custom dates will be highlighted in yellow to separate them from the default system entries. To edit a custom entry, click Edit a User Entry. Select the user entry you'd like to edit, then change the appropriate information. Once you make your changes, press Update. Then, all existing occurrences of this entry will be updated with your new information. Once you create user entries, you can assign them to a company or companies all at once. The Assign User Entries option opens a dialog box that shows you all your companies and all your user entries. Check the box next to the companies you want the entries to apply to. Then, check the box next to all the user entries you want to apply to those companies. Click Assign Entries to Companies to apply. The Delete a User Entry option does exactly what it sounds like. When you click it, it'll open a dialog box where you can select which entries you'd like to delete. Check their boxes to select them. To delete all the existing occurrences of any selected user entries, select Also remove all assignments made to these user-defined entries. If you do not check this box, none of the existing occurrences will be deleted. However, you will not be able to add this user entry to any new companies. Click Delete Selected Entries to proceed, then choose Yes to delete the entries. Later, if you want to delete an existing occurrence of a user entry, you can do so through the date list either in the Calendar tab or in the Query tab. From the date list, click on the user entry you'd like to delete. It will be highlighted in blue. Right-click on the selected field and click Delete User Entries. Click Yes to confirm. The Mark User Entries to Rollover option allows you to set or change rollover options for your custom entries. Check the boxes for the user entries you'd like to change. You can mark them to rollover, and Calendar will give you a message to confirm. You can also remove the rollover. You can see the status of whether user entries roll over or not under the Rollover Yes or No column on this dialog box. The User Entry Assignment List option allows you to see all your user entries and manage them from one place. You are able to edit, assign, and delete your entries. Select the entries you'd like to make a change to. Notice that each company the user entry is assigned to is displayed in the bottom left corner. Pressing Delete deletes the user entry only. These user entries will still appear in the queries and under the companies they were assigned to. However, you will not be able to assign it to any companies in the future, and it won't appear in the assignment list moving on. If you select the Delete Everywhere It Is Assigned checkbox, then press Delete, the entry will be permanently deleted from every existing place it is assigned. All traces of the entry will be removed. If you click Edit, you can modify the due dates, state, tax type, description, postmark, and whether or not the entry will be automatically assigned to each new company that is created. When finished, press the Update button, then press Close. To assign the entry to more companies, press Assign. Select which companies you would like to assign the user entry to, then press the Assign Entries to Companies button. Press Close. If you have a duplicate or orphan entry, you can delete it in this list. Filter your results by number of companies each entry is assigned to by right-clicking on the column header. Then, click the 0 checkbox to pull up all user entries that are not assigned to any companies. Select the date and click Delete. This must be manually done for each duplicate entry. The Manage Non-Enterprise Companies option allows you to add companies to the Enterprise calendar that are not otherwise in Enterprise. This helps you put all your alerts and calendar due dates in the same place. To add a non-enterprise company, click the Manage Non-Enterprise Companies button. A dialog will come up asking what you want to name that company. You'll also need to add an abbreviation. Then, click OK. From here, your non-enterprise company will be available as an option in the company list. The Manage Non-Enterprise Users option allows you to add non-enterprise users to the calendar to assign them to returns. Click Manage Non-Enterprise Users, then click Add. The dialog will prompt you to add their name and email address. You can also edit and delete users from here. You can also add non-enterprise users from the main interface of the calendar. Click on one of the assignment fields and select Create New from the drop-down list. The Import menu allows you to import calendar dates in from other programs. You can import a CSV or a text file. You may import custom columns, but your file must contain columns for due date, tax type, state, and description. The Import Custom Data File wizard is the only option under the Import menu. When you click it, a wizard will appear to guide you through the import process. On the Welcome screen, click Next. Then browse to your import data file and click Next again. Then select the companies that your custom entries will apply to. After that, it'll prompt you to select a delimiter, be it comma, pipe, tilde, or tab. The optional categories available to import are listed on the left. Due date, tax type, state, and description are all required, so you cannot remove these columns from the selected list. Use the left and right arrow buttons to move every column you wish into the selected list of columns. Then, you can use the up and down arrows to arrange the selected columns. While you cannot remove some of the default columns that Calendar requires, you can reorder them. Next, 2 checkboxes will appear. Calendar wants to know if you wish to have the imported dates roll over, and also whether or not the first line of your data file is composed of headers. If you have reviewers and preparers in your import file, you'll need to map them to your enterprise or non-enterprise users in this import window. Select a user from your import file on the left, then select the corresponding enterprise user on the right. Click Map It. Repeat this step until all your reviewers and preparers are mapped. Click OK when you are finished mapping users. Then click Next and a Finish button will appear. Click that and you're done importing. The display menu allows you to switch between a couple different viewing modes that Calendar provides. Switching to Reminder mode allows you to see due date reminders on the Calendar interface. By default, this reminder function is set for 7 days, but you can change that by clicking the up and down arrows next to display the number of days reminder. The way Calendar shows your approaching due date is with shades of red. The darker the shade, the nearer it is to a due date. The lighter the shade, the more time you have. Turning on Reminder mode will also use these shades of red in the list underneath the calendar. The Display by Date options allow you to switch back and forth between due date and internal due date. Displaying by the due date shows the returns as due on their actual due date. Displaying by the internal due date shifts the due dates to the internal due date you have set on that particular return. The Show Dates options allow you to see either all the dates or just the ones that were assigned to you. Each user has the option to have Calendar open automatically when they log into Enterprise. When the Reminders option is enabled, due date reminders will also automatically be displayed. You can find this option under Tools, Options, User Options tab in Enterprise. The Edit menu contains options you're probably used to in other programs. This menu allows you to copy, paste, delete, and clear information from the calendar. It's exactly what it looks like, and you're a pro already. But no worries, if you need a refresher, you can check the help files here.